Guys, it's Friday. Welcome to the I Love CVille Show. It's Jerry Miller. It's good to be with you guys. Spring is in the air. I'm feeling on fire, absolutely loving life. And how could you not after that UVA victory last night? Wahoos, I think it was like 1:07 in the morning, and it was a freaking dogfight against Oregon. I mean, a dogfight. I was stressing it on the couch with my wife and my son. I was trying to keep my 1-year-old son up to watch this game. Evidently, 1-year-olds don't like to stay up past 10 o'clock. I don't know what I was thinking. She was looking at me like, Jerry, you're being selfish. I'm like, sweetheart, all I care about is my son seeing this victory to move to the Elite Eight. This is historical. Anyway, salute to the Wahoo. Salute to Clark. I mean, Clark has been getting so much shit from so many different people, and he kicked some ass and took some names yesterday. Props to him, guys. Props to him. The show is on fire. We're looking at roughly 1,700 on the stream right now. And we're going to have some fun with Adam's Plastic Pond. They're going to join us here on the I Love CVille Show. They have a show tomorrow at the Southern. And I think after you see them do their thing here, you're going to be buying tickets left and right and making this show something. And what you should do is enjoy, Clark's already getting some props right now on the feed. I like it. I like it. I like it. I think what you need to do is watch the band and then keep an eye on your phone for the UVA basketball game, okay, on Saturday night. Let's thank the folks that make this program possible. First, Intrastate Pest and Service Companies. This is a 4-generation strong business. They started in 1969 with one dude in one truck. This guy was going to phone booths and making phone calls to his customers after he was done servicing the first customer. Today, 4 generations strong with a location in the Shenandoah Valley, the headquarters on Harris, an office in Richmond, and a Commonwealth-wide footprint. It's the kind of entrepreneurial stories and the positive vibes and positive energy we love to celebrate here at I Love CVille. Also give some props to the good doctor, Scott Wagner, Dr. Scott Wagner of Scott Wagner Chiropractic and Sports Medicine. Our advertising agency is the advertising agency of record for both. We love working with these businesses, and we see firsthand how they're leaving Charlottesville in a better place. That's important to me as a social entrepreneur who is focus on things that are a little different now that we're 11 years into this business. Less about the grind and more about legacy and more about, leaving this community, Charlottesville, Virginia, in a better spot. And more on that, guys, as we get into the show. I'm going to ask this with Adam Long, with Alex, with Julian. And I think Harris Tolber is our director. Judah Wickhauer, producer. Lauren Linsky upstairs producing this program as well. Give the show a like and share. I think Harris Tolber, on that note, studio cam, baby. Let's welcome the band to the set. Adam, Alex, and Julian.
Thanks for having us, man.
A pleasure. I'm totally stoked to spotlight what you guys do. I'm going to start with you, Adam, and we're going to have this conversation for you. Talk to us about the birth story, the evolution of your band, the evolution of you in Charlottesville, what makes you guys tick, what your music is about, hobbies, passions, interests, anything you want to talk about.
Oh man, just a blank slate.
Okay.
No, I just grew up in a family of music lovers, music players. So started pretty young with it, came to school at EVA, met some great musicians here, and had a pop band called the Sometime Favorites. Right out of school, did that for a few years, and so kind of when everyone wanted, some people were going to med school, some people were having kids and kind of moving on with their life, that's when I kind of broke off, did sideman guitar work for artists around town, and then formed this little Adam's Plastic Pond unit just as kind of a songwriting outlet. Out of the gate, there was no real intent to play live shows or anything behind it. It was just more kind of a little art project, write some songs and put out something that I was proud of. But I had so much fun, really enjoyed the songs from the first record. This is our, I don't know if people can see, but that's the second record. It's just this fresh, hot off the press. So it's just been kind of an adventure of using all my great musical friends in Charlottesville, whoever's available, to make these records and play these shows behind it. I don't know how much I want to showcase the new album, because I would really love for everyone to listen to both albums. But we're so excited about this new music. Think we're kind of moving in a direction, finally finding the sound of a band a little bit more than just my songs in the studio brought to life. It definitely is starting to take on a life of its own a little bit, and I'm really excited about that.
This is a question I ask so on Fridays we play live music here. I mean, I think it's the perfect like entree to the weekend to kind of like set the vibe and keep positivity and the energy going for what's going to be a kick-ass weekend for all of us. And where I'm going with this is I ask this question to all the bands that come on the show. When you're playing original music, dude, you're like showcasing a sense of vulnerability that is like so raw and like authentic and freaking genuine. And I admire the courage that comes with that vulnerability, because sometimes as like a very alpha male, it's difficult for me to showcase that vulnerability. Yes, I've been called perhaps by some people in my life that I'm robotic or stone-like with my emotions, and I totally get it, and I'm trying to deal with that. Where I'm going with this is when you are playing originals, the vulnerability is there. How do you manage that? The confidence, the courage. I mean, I'm getting freaking deep right here, right? I mean, really deep.
I do it through what I would consider cryptic songwriting.
Okay. Talk to me about that.
Talk about that. That's, I don't know, one of the downsides, at least is that I found with my writing is it's hard for me to write when I'm happy, and there's a lot of good stuff going on. And so a lot of these songs come from just, you know, kind of the tougher walks of life that I've gone through. And if it's too real, if I'm writing too literally about it, I have to shelve it. And so it's more like trying to find metaphors to describe these feelings rather than actually describing what happened, because I think that would be too raw to just put it out on display like that. So cryptic songwriting is my answer, trying to disguise it a little bit to make it seem a little bit, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, a little more approachable for multiple people rather than just so personal that I'm the only one that can appreciate it.
Dude, I thought you just crushed it right there. And Adam Long didn't know when he was coming to I Love CVille, he was going to walk into a therapy session right here. But hey, let's put him on the spot. Alex, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Okay, are you ready to rock and roll?
Okay, sure.
It's the confident, secure outside exterior. We're about to get into the vulnerable side as you as well. You were very connected from the local music scene. I found out off air before the show started that you're involved with 4 bands.
Yes.
You also have a 9 to 5.
Yes.
You have is a young daughter that's 3 years old.
She's 3.
You've been in Charlottesville for a third of your life, roughly 10 years.
Correct.
And you know, you're passionate about the community, you're passionate about your family, you're passionate about playing music. That right there is kind of like the easy things you can say, so that's why I said them, so you can't go on the easy things.
Great.
I would like to know who Alex is the person. I mean, what your passions, your hobbies, your interests are, what makes you tick.
Sure.
The things that scare the hell out of you. Okay, like frighten the hell out of you, because that sense of vulnerability is something that certainly is conveyed in music, and certainly successful musicians.
Okay, well, I am Alex. I like to garden.
And Julian, you're next.
All right, I'm getting ready.
Okay, all right.
I play music. I do art. I have a degree in astronomy, and I don't do that anymore.
She's always good for a space question if you've got any space questions.
Yeah, I like to get heady.
Yeah.
Okay, I love to get heady.
What scares me? I don't know. I've actually worked through most of my fears recently.
Okay.
So I'm not really sure. I haven't had that sort of introspective, like, what scares me now type of conversation with myself.
People?
Yeah. Maybe sitting still, I think, might be. You're running and gunning a lot.
Oh, you know what? Dancing. I'm afraid of dancing.
Okay, why?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
That's true. I've never seen you dance.
No.
You don't dance on stage?
No.
So
She does a little kick sometimes.
There's some rhythm happening. She's not doing like high kicks and stuff.
No.
But
she's doing the foot tap?
Yeah, but she's doing aux percussion
That's
and
not
some
dancing.
shakers. And,
That's different.
Okay, what do you call that?
There's movement.
That's just keeping the beat.
Okay. How about an easier question for you? What is it about Charlottesville you love?
I like the mountains and the trees, and I like the fresh air, and there's only one Walmart, and the people, I guess.
Yeah. Because you got the Austin background, right?
Yeah.
It's very different.
It is different. Also, Austin is very different than it was when I grew up there. You know, I left in 2005. I left Austin, and in the ensuing 14 years, things have changed considerably, and I don't actually recognize that city when I go back most of the time.
Okay, it sounds like you got a new home. Tracy Long says she's watching from Nashville. She can't wait to hear you play some music right now.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Mom.
Is that Mom? Is that Mom?
My mom. My parents are big like honky tonkers, so they go down to Nashville all the time. And just rage on the strip. And
what's up, Ma Dukes?
Yeah.
Like and share the feed, Ma Dukes. So, Tracy Long, thank you for chiming in. We got Tim watching in Southampton. Long Island right now. We got Scott watching in Virginia Beach. We got the Southern. We got the Festy watching. So you got some people watching here. John Kluge watching. Like and share the stream, guys. Julian Carta. This guy is the born and raised.
I am from Charlottesville.
Individual. Western Albemarle's finest.
Yes, indeed.
Go Crozet. Go Brownsville Market.
Yes.
Go Darren Maynard and Skip Hudgens.
Right. It's
Paul Rittenhouse, perhaps.
I didn't play baseball, so I was not as familiar. But I
you
do
know
know
the
Paul.
names?
I do know Paul. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, good people out in Crozet for sure. I actually coached the Crozet Gators swim team for like
Get out
4
there,
years
you're a
after college.
swimmer?
So I used to be. I'm not a very good swimmer anymore. So
What are you
Don't
good
let him
at?
fool you. He can definitely still swim.
what am I good at?
What are you good at? What are you bad at? What do you want to be better at?
I want to be better at surfing. This has been something I've been doing a little bit every now and then. My brother-in-law my sister lived in Bradley Beach, New Jersey, right on the shore, Asbury Park, and when we'd go visit up there, we'd do a little bit of surfing, and we just took a little trip down to Puerto Rico a couple weeks ago, so that's something I'm working on. But I'm also getting beat down pretty hard in the waves as I'm working through it. But so it's kind of incorporating some of my loves of swimming and snowboarding as well there. So that's something I'm working on. But what am I good at? I go fishing a decent amount in the area.
What do you fish?
I don't know if I want to give away all my spots, but
Come on now,
I got
give me
a
some of the
couple.
bass, baby. Give me
We'll
some
go,
of the
we'll
bass.
go to the national park a decent amount, but
Okay.
it's mostly fly fishing for trout and whatnot. So I do that on the side. But I spend a lot of time doing music, writing at home, working with Adam on things. I sub for Adam and the other gentleman in the band, Nate, in the wedding band that we play in. So a decent amount of time with that. I travel a decent amount, and I am working on a master's degree at the Cray School at UVA on the side. So-
Charles Tremblay says Julian's a wild and crazy guy.
Indeed.
You want to give some props to Charles?
He's not lying.
Wait, how is Charles? Dude, I like to get crazy. I like to get after it, dude. I work my ass off and I play really, really hard.
I'm pretty tame these days.
Oh, you are? You getting older?
I'd say so.
See, I feel like age is a state of mind. I still getting after it. And my wife's watching right now. She's like, yeah, stop talking about this, Jerry. I can't help it. It's in my blood here. Justin, you're going to have to help me with this name. Justin Pacacchio? Pachaco.
That's relevant.
Okay. Says it's a great-looking group right here. I'm just happy
Thanks,
I'm
Justin.
included here.
He's being kind. He is he's one of the keyboard players in Adam's Plastic Pond.
Okay.
But he is from Richmond, and he has his own band, Villages, and
Okay.
they will be opening the show tomorrow night at the Southern, and they're amazing. So people come and definitely show up early and check out Justin. And Justin is also a very good-looking dude, so him saying that I think means a little bit extra.
Okay, Justin. There you go, dog. How about Whit Grandel watching from Adam's hometown of Broadway, Virginia?
Yeah, hey, Whit.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this is like old home week.
How about Jan Gabelstein, bowling?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Jan.
Yeah, hey, Jan.
That's-
She's like, hey, Alex. That's
Hey.
what she said.
That's my husband's stepmom.
Okay, husband, stepmom.
And a
Hi.
heck of a drummer to boot.
Yes, she's
Jess
a very good
Marcus
drummer.
just giving emojis
Hi,
all
Jess.
over the
Oh,
place.
man.
Like and share the stream. Like and share the stream, guys. Question for you.
Shoot.
Evolution of the band, evolution of the music.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are what? Second album?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From start to second album, what do you like? What needs to get better? What are you proud of?
Oh gosh. Out of the gate, it really started as kind of like the Adam show. I did a lot in my home studio of putting the songs together, kind of recording full band demo versions of everything to send out. And so really the evolution that's starting to occur and that I really want to capitalize on is letting everyone else contribute their own voice to the project. Especially I have such amazing musical friends in this band. I feel guilty that it hasn't occurred to me to do it sooner. I'm a little bit, I don't know if anal's the right word, but I'm a little
You're a perfectionist.
I'm a little type A about
Yeah,
the music.
same.
I have other, I work a job. I have a wedding band, and so this is kind of this is the art side of it. That, there's no other reason to do it other than just like these little art projects.
The vulnerability.
Mm-hmm. And so that's really my goal now, is just to be able to bring songs at a more rough level to these guys and let them explore kind of like the sonic sonic space more than me trying to fill
you're
up
getting heady. I like
it. Me trying to fill up everything and send it out. But super proud of this new record. We recorded it, some in my home studio, but the rest of it in Alex's husband's Alex and Nate's studio at their home.
Precious jewel.
The precious jewel of the Charlottesville music.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to put that in perspective for us, Alex? And Lee Dick says, what up?
Hey, Lee.
Yeah, Lee Dick's giving you some props right now. Lee Dick's good people. Put that in perspective. The precious jewel of the Charlottesville music community. Wow, those are some high expectations right there.
That's completely overstated.
Okay, that's hyperbole?
Yes.
Okay, talk to me about that.
We have a home studio.
That's awesome.
It's effective. I like it, and
I can appreciate effective. Look at where we're at right now.
Yes. My husband is an audio engineer.
Awesome.
Also Mason. Shout out to Appetite for Construction Masonry.
Okay.
If you need anything done.
Wow, we've got a commercial on air from Alex. I like it. You
gotta look out for number one, man.
Yeah.
But the studio, the studio is great. Nate records music in there. Adam's Plastic Pond. He did a project with Julian and Moby and the Dicks recently. Astronomers have recorded. That's one of the other bands that I'm in. Have recorded multiple times in our studio, and so has the other band that I'm in with him, University of Wales.
Golly, how do you have time for anything?
Well, I live
You're
in
very regimented with your schedule, huh?
Yes, I live in a city where I don't have to drive for an hour to work every day and back, so I actually have quite a bit more time than...
You walk to work?
No, I drive. It takes me, because I have to drop the kid off at daycare, it's on the way.
That's what I have to look forward to. Charles says you got a joke about dolphins.
I have no idea.
Charles, what are you
put
talking
you on
about?
the spot.
What are you talking about, Charles? Here's a question I have for you this came up a couple weeks ago. We had Ray Cadell's band, Ray Cadell and the Cool Cats, and this is like a 10-piece band that travels the country, playing like awesome gigs, Vegas, wherever it may be.
They play the White House. They've done
the White House.
Done a bunch of stuff.
Like they kicked some ass on this set and took some names, and it was awesome. Like I had goosebumps. Like I'm gonna have goosebumps when you guys play here in a matter of seconds.
No
the question
pressure.
I have for you is this: is like balancing or like the juxtaposition. You ready for this?
Yeah.
The juxtaposition of the wedding band versus playing originals. I mean, the wedding band is about chasing a paycheck, doing something that you love that pays the bills or helps pay the bills.
Right.
When you're playing originals, it's a much harder road.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that dichotomy.
I think Adam can chime on this as well because he does it a lot more than I do. I probably do 4 or 5 a year. You can only play Sweet Home Alabama and Wagon Wheel to a bunch of people so many times.
You're saying it burns you out?
Well, it doesn't really burn you out because it's fun. I mean, the thing is with that band, you get to play with, we all happen to be really good friends in that band, and so you get to travel an hour or two together to a venue, load in and hang out and
Fellowship.
relax. Yeah. So, I mean, there's worse things you could do for getting paid to play music with your friends and whatnot, but you definitely have to have that artistic release to do original music, or even somebody else's original music, and really kind of connect with an audience. Having said that, there's some pretty fun songs we have in our wedding band set list that are a good time to play, right?
Yeah, Adam, give me the perspective on that one.
Oh, I mean, hit the nail on the head. It fulfills like that bro night as well. It's like I don't golf, I don't bowl, and so it's amazing that I can have like this like hobby with my friends on the side that's actually lucrative. It greases the wheels with my home life quite a bit, being able to do that, and it keeps your chops up. You have to play. These are 4-hour shows. You're learning new songs every week, so it definitely hits a lot of the areas in music that I need to hit just to feel okay. Like there's just an amount of guitar that I need to be playing to be, I think, truly as happy as I can be. I love it so much. That being said, the artistic side of it, that's why we have to keep putting out these little CDs every once in a while and booking local shows. There's just something missing from playing 4 hours of covers rather than going out and kind of bearing. Well, these are the songs that we wrote. We took our inspirations and here's what we got. So there's something extra special about that I don't think we'll ever stop either. I don't really want to stop either, but if one goes by the wayside, the Adam's Plastic Pond thing will hang around just because there is something super therapeutic about it.
So I can 100% relate to that. So this is my favorite aspect of the job, is connecting with people and connecting with Charlottesville and spotlighting, rock stars. Okay? Spotlighting great people. Okay? It's creative, it's compelling, it's conversational, it's confident, it's charming. That's some beautiful alliteration right there. What it also is, the aspect of my job that's tough is the other creative side where we have to do the graphic design or build a website or build a smartphone app or figure out search engine optimization. It's still tapping into that creative side. Maybe not so much like this, but it's still like in the realm, and I can still get something from it, so I can understand where you're coming from there. Here's a question that I have for you. We were doing a little research. Harris sent this to me. Adam's Plastic Pond is a collection of Charlottesville musicians gathered to bring movement to the songwriting efforts of Adam Long. Okay, running the gamut of southern lap steel to folk ballads and sunny guitar pop, the band shows off jangling hooks and bright, lucid vocals on their sophomore full-length effort. First, the copywriting on this is freaking tremendous. Who wrote these words? Is that you?
Did do that.
It came from a review.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, talk to me about this. Talk to me about what to expect at a live show with you.
Oh my gosh. Well,
When you're playing originals.
yeah. Well, there's always like Julian and our guitar head, so there's going to be an element of just trying to do some ripping on the guitar. But we definitely bring it back. I like that bright, lucid vocals line.
That's awesome.
Because it is, we try to. All the songs definitely have a groove to them, but it's all underneath. What I think of as lyrics that are worthwhile and mean something. They're not just like throwaways on top of the music. I love the music. The music is definitely the fun part, but there's definitely trying to tell a story with it on top of that.
Okay, well, I'm going to get out of the way. I know when to stop talking and let you guys do your thing. Stephanie Belinsky says, what up? Ian McDonald says, what up? Like and share the feed, We're about to play some live music here on the I Love CVille Show. Adam's Plastic Pond tomorrow night at the Southern. Show is yours, Adam.
Am I good here?
Yeah?
You good with it?
We're ready to rock and roll, baby. And Judah, let's get that camera for some behind-the-scenes photos.
Do better?
Better?
Mm-hmm. You say that we should talk it all over, leave what's behind us, or put on a shelf. It's getting colder, I'm feeling better, and this glass of whiskey, well, it won't drink itself. My time's been split between all the losers, the broke down abusers, and pleasing them all. And so I've been caught in things I'm not proud of, but my time with you was not one at all. You could mean nothing to all that you see. That never mattered when it came down to me. You can come stay the night. It makes you feel better, but it don't make it right. Take a word said in protest, but you took the greatest and you threw it away. I swore I'd never be made a fool of, but you're on my doorstep and I fall like the rain. 'Cause you could mean nothing to all that you see. That never mattered when it came down to me. You can come stay the night. It makes you feel better, but it don't make it right. Nothing is lonely like a love that's left behind, or harder to take in when you can't get her out of your mind. And I can't get you out of my mind. You could mean nothing to all that you see. That never mattered when it came down to me. You can come stay the night. It makes you feel better, but it don't make it right. Thank you.
Some props right here. Let's pass the kind words from people watching. Ashley McDormand, enjoying this over lunch with my coworkers in Harrisonburg right now. Whit says all of Broadway's watching this, Adam.
Oh, awesome.
We'd love to hear that. Tracy, your ma is super proud. She's doing heart emojis and heart emojis and heart emojis right now. Amanda Kate says, love you, brother.
Man, I got the whole fam.
I got the whole fam watching. Ian, thank you for watching. McDonald, we appreciate the kind words. A lot of people speaking. Laura Hodges is just like saying this is freaking awesome right now. Rod Brunel, Sarah Hill Buczynski, thank you for watching us. We got folks watching in Charleston right now. Folks watching in Charlotte, North Carolina. It looks like people are watching in Minneapolis as well here on the I Love CVille Show. Give us the inspiration. Give us the influence. Tell us what we just heard. Put the story behind the song.
My wife's gonna hate these. They're all about just old flames.
Yeah,
gone wrong. But
I got that.
Yeah, so we were talking about that. I think you had a similar. Sounds like you had a similar situation.
I do, and my wife's watching right now. I'm happy to relay that to her. If you
That's
want.
great. I was gonna say they're like a bunch of sad songs, but I just want to put it out there. Married, doing great. Married, doing great.
Yeah.
Kids, everything's great.
Yeah.
But no, that was just one that from kind of a college flame. That burned out and not really, really caring about someone, really loving someone, and never going to turn your back on them, but at the same time, like finally moving on a little bit and getting on with your life, not really knowing if it's possible, but kind of pressing through it.
It's like the concept of you're able to, and I'm going to get deep here. You're able to potentially love more than one person in your life and you're in existence, but perhaps only be in love with a certain person. Very different mindset between loving someone and being in love with someone.
Sure.
Put that in perspective.
No, I mean, I think more than that, I totally agree, but it's also, it took loving that person
to figure out,
to move on to the next person, to move, it's like the progression to your life. I'm sure she figured out a lot about herself, I as well, and we became better people and went off and found better people for us. I think, but those old flames, as kind of touchy as they are to talk about once you're married or moved on to another one, I think they're incredibly important, and that's what a lot of these songs for me are about, are just tracing those relationships to find, kind of want to sound cheesy, but kind of like find out who I really am. I almost had to fail at these these past relationships.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. It helps make you a better man. It's like, I am not afraid to fail. I often find with failure comes self-awareness. And that self-awareness is the foundation to bettering yourself as a human being. When you were realizing that's what was happening with your songwriting, did it scare the shit out of you?
A little bit, just because these songs were popping out years later. And so I've,
you're like, why am I going back here?
Yeah, why is this the thing that's coming out now? But there's a certain vulnerability about it for sure, especially because these people are still out there and could easily hear the song. I never want to put anyone on blast about it.
And if they did, how would that make you feel?
Great. I mean, I have love for all kinds of the relationships that have come in and out of my life. So
I love it. Vicki Bell's giving you some props. She's watching in Kansas City.
Okay.
She says, love getting to hear some music, Alex. This song was great. She also says, this is Vicky Bell, Gary's sister. Sorry, I feel like you know who that is. Put in perspective, and I'm going to throw the same question to both of you. Put in perspective what just happened with the song. It was beautiful. We'll start with you, Alex.
That song?
Yeah.
Wait, what was the question?
Put in perspective what happened with that song. You guys were synced. You're on the same team. I mean, you were feeding off each other. I felt it was like a palpable, tangible chemistry on set that I could like pick up and wrap myself in blanket-wise.
Well, Adam and I have been playing music together for 7 years now. So, I mean, we know how to sing together. I like his songs. I sing. That's it.
Okay. I like it. You're cutting to the chase right there. I like it. Jump in here, Julian.
I usually don't play the solo on that one, so that was a total curveball for me. So. But I thought it went pretty well.
I thought it was so good. I love where this is going. Okay. You right here, how about the chemistry being built with the band? Like, how do you go about doing that?
We're friends. Outside of music, there's an insane friendship there. These are the people that I hang out with when we're not playing music, and I certainly found this community through music.
That's awesome.
But it's definitely expanded far beyond its musical origins. But like I think we were saying earlier about how Alex is a very good person to throw things off of when I want a real opinion
She
on
keeps
something.
it
She's
freaking real.
a great
She does,
sounding
yeah.
board,
Yeah.
and that extends through the band. I'm very comfortable with these people, and I wouldn't hesitate to bring a song to them and know that they're going to tell me exactly how they think about it, and they're going to give me their opinions on how we can make it better, or if we should just scrap it and move on to the next one. So having a friendship with these people, I don't know, it's expanded that a lot. I don't take things personally with me. I take music very seriously when we do it, but the opinions that the rest of the band have about the songs, I value very, very highly. So.
The feed is on fire. Zach Peters says you guys are sounding great.
Thanks, Zach.
Thanks, Zach.
Like and share the stream, guys. Like and share the stream. Kai Crow Getty. Julian, what gear can we expect you to play on Saturday? What gear?
What gear? All right,
Yeah.
so he's going deep into some of the stuff that Adam was touching on.
Please.
We have a pretty, like Adam said, we're kind of gearheads, and like every guitar player, you have to have multiple guitars, and you spend most of your time looking for other gear on Craigslist instead of actually when you should be practicing
Or working.
Yeah, exactly.
Julian, we have some pretty cool email chains going around with Julian and some just like finding crazy gear, what he likes to call like baby boomer purchases and getting rid of. But on Craigslist, so they're always good for a laugh.
Stephen Patrick says, I stumbled across this feed, Jerry, through a mutual friend that liked your post. I'm watching in Las Vegas. This band sounds awesome. Las Vegas in the house right now.
That's awesome.
Got a couple more people I'm going to give some props to and then get out of the way for the second song so you guys can go anywhere you want. Enrico Desi.
Yes. So
Giving you props.
Thanks, all the way from
Italy?
Italy, yes.
Yeah.
So
Italy's watching right now?
I have a lot of family actually in Sardinia, more in particular, and my dad's side of the family is always very supportive. They love music in Italy, and they're always watching, and they're always asking me when more music is coming. So grazie, Enrico.
I love that. You got some swag to you, dog. I like it.
Oh,
Brian Combs from Pro Renata Brewery. Brian, you need to book this band for Pro Renata. I'm serious. Let's pay the full freight and let's get them out to the brewery immediately.
Brian's had me out recently for his songwriter.
Okay,
thing,
all right. So
he's doing his job.
Okay, he's doing his job. Look at him. He's trying to play it safe with it. It's like, Jerry, what are you doing, dude? I'm going to get out of the way. Show's yours. Anywhere you want to go.
What do you want to do?
Keep the capo there. Do Trouble.
Love you, Brian Combs.
Let's rewrite the ending and put this back together. When life was not so fleeting and further seemed forever, we may find that our time was all alone, burning right down to the floor. I got lost in everything get so afraid. Now stars line up for one more try. Just hang your keys upon the door and put your new dress on. Kiss me with your pretty mouth. No need to worry now. Trouble's when you know you're in too far from backing down. If fate won't give us what we want, we'll take it back somehow. When all the lights are dimming and we've survived the weather, you will find me sending out a push to make it better. And the line between you and I will fall right along the reasons that make it so hard to apologize. I get lost in everything, and you get so afraid. Now stars line up for one more try. Just hang your keys upon the door and put your new dress on. Kiss me with your pretty mouth. No need to worry now. Trouble's when you know you're in too far from backing down. If fate won't give us what we want, we'll take it back somehow. I'm holding on to you, and all we've held on to, it makes me who I am. So help me understand why we can't make this right again. Just hang your keys upon the door, put your new dress on. Kiss me with your pretty mouth. No need to worry now. Trouble's when you know you're in too far from backing down. If they won't give us what we want, we'll take it back somehow. It's just to hang your keys and kiss me with your pretty mouth. Trouble's when you know you're in too far from backing down. If fate won't give us what we want, we'll take it back somehow.
Dude, you guys just freaking crushed it right there. That was fire, man. That was absolute fire.
I think we discussed beforehand not doing the double chorus at the end, so I appreciate you guys hanging in there. We did say we're gonna, so I did do it right.
Yeah, I forgot.
There was nothing wrong about what you started.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
That was amazing.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, we got the Jefferson watching right now, guys. Like and share the feed. Like and share the feed. That would mean the world to us. Let's see here. You're getting some props. Maya Gilmore.
Oh, hey, Mike.
Is that WNRN? WNRN?
She is WNRN adjacent. I think she moved out of town.
She lives in Richmond now?
Yeah. Did she?
She moved down to Carolina.
I thought it was Nashville. There was a story. Okay, Maya, thank you for watching either way. How's that? Thank you for watching either way.
Like, kid, where you live?
Yeah.
Tell everybody on the internet where you live, man.
Like and share the feed. Like and share the feed, guys. What happened with that song? Give us the story behind it.
So that one is definitely a kind of the end of a relationship, but not of mine. I had a songwriting partner kind of out of college that in the Sometime Favorites, and he had penned the chorus and just didn't really know what else to do about it. And he was going through a really tough time with his, at that time, fiance, and there was some illness, and there was a bunch of stuff going on. And so it was a song trying to capture that and be like, man, us against the world, we got to figure this out, kind of thing.
How is music therapeutic for you?
Oh man, I'm not eloquent in any way when I'm talking, and so I feel like when I have the ability to sit down and write, I can pick those words.
I can totally relate.
I'm a thinker. I'm more of a thinker than a talker, and so being able to like sit down and write and cross things out and put in a better word that just tries to get closer to the point that I'm trying to
Well,
make.
and correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't want to assume here, and this is a little psychoanalysis on you, and I hate to do this, but hey,
Do
I'm
it.
going to do it anyway
Do
here.
it.
Engineer?
Yes.
Okay, so writing on paper, crossing out, is the linear side of your brain, where you're a process man. You're like, point A to point B, I'm going to get there this way.
Yeah.
So that's the piece of the writing that you like. It allows you to take something that's, manifesting itself somehow internally and like bringing it out and making it reality. And you're doing it on paper.
Well, and there's like a work at, like, that's the work part. Getting out and playing the songs is the fun part. But that's
Do you like the process?
work. Love it.
Yeah, why?
Love it. I don't. It just. I can be. I don't know. I can just kind of express myself in ways I don't think I can in any other facet of my life. There's things that I can say, and putting certain words to music amplifies the emotions that words. If I sit here and read you that song, you'd be like, oh, okay, that's okay. But just being able to like put melody to it and put movement to it just really amplifies it, I think.
How important is the process to the final product? I know that's an easy question, but get deep on that.
Well, my process is weird. I'm not in any way prolific, and so it's definitely a long, drawn-out process. But there's so many avenues and openings for the song to get better along the way. If I rushed through it, just wrote kind of went with the first thing that I wrote and just recorded it right away and went with it, I think we would still probably end up with a pretty cool song, but not in the way that the current like batch of these Adam's Plastic Pond songs have turned out, because we really let them breathe. We played a lot of shows behind them. The songs have kind of come into their own, and that's expressed on the album. I don't think they would sound quite the same if we would just recorded them straight off the demos instead of kind of taking them out and playing with them for a while.
Do you feel like you have a flagship song, flagship track? And Sarah Jane B says, I think you talk real nice, Adam.
Thanks, Sarah.
Bob Yarborough says, absolutely outstanding.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, flagship track, go to?
Oh man, not really. Probably I think like my favorite one out of the gate to play people was the first one that we did better.
Yeah.
That one just I think sets the tone. It's not
Because
super
that's the closest
indicative.
to your heart. Mm-hmm. Well, at least of the two you played.
Yeah, I mean it's that one's
firsthand.
Yeah, that one's like the most. I don't know. It's the realist.
Raw.
It's the realist for me.
Yes, the realist right there.
Yeah.
Dude, you're crushing it. I'm gonna get out of the way again. Show's yours.
Oh, gosh.
Where you guys want to go? What are you gonna do?
Good question. Yeah, let's do On the Line. That one?
Cool. Yeah.
Maybe you could tell it by the way that she walked in, never reaching out to break her fall. I'm new to the city now, and the walls are paper thin. Front row to the wreckage down the hall. Polished to a shiny new and sent out to the night. Was never enough hand for me to hold. Do you find a hard time in giving up the fight? It doesn't seem to me to be the way it goes. But who's gonna help you find your way out? I've never been one to fuss or shout. A memory or 1,000 miles. Lay it on the line. There keep yourself in a tiny little space, barely room enough to draw a breath. And there's an even darker place that you may see inside. Pray you do set fire to the rest. But who's gonna help you find your way out? I've never been one to fuss or shout. A memory on 1,000 miles. Ooh, lay it on the line. Who am I to falter? Leaving now would just go to show. You muddy up the waters and you sink like a stone. But who's gonna help you find your way out? I've never been one to fuss or shout. A memory on 1,000 miles. Ooh, lay it on the line.
Yes, awesome,
Thank you.
awesome. Christina Manzi says Julian Carta is the absolute best. Heart emoji.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
Another
Christina
person
Manzi.
from Calgary, one of my cousins.
Okay.
I concur.
Okay. Alex, you're getting some props from Andrea Caitlin.
Oh, hey.
Great to hear you, Alex. Sounding great, guys. Adam, Pamela Elliott Graves says, way to go, Adam Long.
Thanks, Pam.
Becky Lee says, I absolutely love what I'm hearing, Adam.
Thank you.
Of course, Tracy is on
Tracy's still in
She's
there.
Tracy's doing it. She says, I love them all.
Is she filling up with emojis?
I love
Lots
them
of heart
all. Right?
emojis?
I think she's getting emotional right now. Tracy, thank you for watching from
Thanks,
Nashville. Give us the story behind the song.
That one, I don't know that there is a total personal, I don't know, fully personal connection to it. But there were some people in my life, especially having sisters, where you get to see relationships deteriorate from the outside looking in, and just like, geez, what can I do to help this? And feeling like that little bit of that feeling of helplessness, and just watching it, watching a car crash. There's just nothing you can do about it. So I think that's really the basis of that song.
What kind of brother were you? You might not be the big brother. I don't want to assume. What kind of brother were you? Where was the dynamic with the sisters?
I guess you probably describe me as the perfect brother.
Oh, perfect brother, right there. I love when you show the swag, baby.
No, the middle,
were you middle, young, oldest?
Middle child. I have an older sister, Amanda, and a younger sister, Abby, and so they kind of flanked me on both sides. But it was great. My older sister kind of paved the way through the family for me to like what I could get away with.
So she got in trouble a lot.
She did,
Yeah.
but it was only because I think that's just the older kid
course.
is like
I was
the
the older
first.
kid.
So
Yeah.
you probably had it as well.
Oh my God.
So it's like, and then by the time they got to my little sister, she's just she's the baby.
Perfect angel.
She's the perfect angel of the group.
Okay.
Me
Protective.
and my older sister, I think, are more of the hellions.
Okay.
Through high school, but definitely very protective of both my sisters. They don't need it. They're super tough. They don't, but I am regardless.
How did it make you, or help evolve you into the man you were,
Oh, just out of
or the man you are?
Well, out of the gate, there's just having there's more females in the house than males, and so you're just on ground zero, I guess, for teenage problems and just the different side of things that I just didn't really have to go through as a guy, and so seeing that and seeing people that you care about more than anything go through it definitely is a part of the painting you see before you. That's part of my makeup, or my sisters. But I love them both dearly, and I'm super protective of both of them. And so anytime, it's tough to see people you love going through hard times. So that was definitely the basis of that tune.
Would you call yourself a sensitive guy?
Oh yeah.
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 Softy.
Yeah. And I mean, even worse so since I've had a kid like that.
Totally.
I was keeping it together for the first 30 years, and then a kid came into the picture, and I'm a mess.
I can so relate to that.
Yeah.
Like never got
in the best way. In the best way.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Well, I mean, I think it's the best way in that like we're able to show emotion that otherwise we perhaps were not showing. I can so relate to that, to the point where I'm watching something on television, and like when I see something on television where it's like negative about or like harmful or hurtful to a child, I can't even watch the show. I just change the channel, and it's like this. I don't need this in my life here.
Yeah.
Let's give some props to some. Do we have one more? Can we do one more?
Yeah, we can do one more.
Okay.
Sure.
Can we do two more?
Up to
Figure
the
it out.
boss over here.
Okay, all right. Before we go, let's give some props to people. Brian Combs, sounding great, Adam.
Thanks,
absolutely awesome. This is a great show, Jerry. It's great to see these great musicians getting some well-deserved attention. Thank you, Brian Combs. Amanda Kate, so proud to be your sister.
There's Amanda.
Obviously, you got all your coolness from me.
She's not totally wrong.
That's not totally wrong.
Yeah.
How about Kelsey Daisley?
Yeah, Kelsey.
So talented. Adam's Plastic Pond shows are the best. Can't wait to get Ford out to a show soon.
Yeah, they have a new baby, so they're not traveling to rock shows right now. Kelsey and her husband.
Mariah Doyle, absolutely beautiful
Hey,
sounds.
Thanks, Mariah.
Do you bring question for all you guys? Do you have kids?
No.
You have a daughter, 3-year-old. Do you guys bring son or daughter, your kids, out to shows?
When possible. I mean, obviously timing of club shows gets a little weird, but anytime I have something that she can come to, she loves it. She's already obsessed with the stage. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
Okay.
But it's awesome. I don't want to force music on her just because it wasn't forced on me. It was just around, and I feel like that's kind of the best way to get into it as a child. But
Yeah,
so I'm gonna
Jeannie
just call
comes
it.
to band practice. So.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call it gentle nudging.
Your daughter?
Yeah.
Comes to band practice?
Well, I mean, we have it in my house.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. The studio is in your house.
Right.
Yeah.
She comes down, does some drums with the PJs on, get everybody warmed up.
What does the mama bear protection tendency evolve?
What do you mean?
Like, first, do you have one?
Yes.
Okay, so were you ever of the mindset, like, early on, it's me going to watch this kid and no one else?
No.
Okay, not mama bear.
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, yeah, I'm protective of her, but at the same time, I want her to grow up in the world. So, I let my husband obviously watches her.
Sure.
We have family and then friends.
You have family in the area?
Not yet, but my mom's moving here in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
It's like, don't let us down.
Okay, don't let us down. Guys, like and share the feed. Like and share the feed. That would mean the world to us. Like and share the show. Adam, show's yours, sir.
Sweet. You guys will do the take?
Yeah, sure.
I thought we were gonna do Call It.
Oh yeah, that's right. Let's do that. You're right.
That's on
Let's
this.
do that.
That's on this record.
That's on this album. See?
All new stuff.
Only new things. I can't hold you like you want me to, but I get a little closer when you walk into the room. And if it was just what you needed, then I'd lie on broken glass with fire beneath it. Mother told me to just wait and see, and the morning sun would answer in some way eventually. So I wrote it down, it circled black, weathered through the aftermath. Yeah, the fruit tastes sweeter, but the color's faded away. Some may say that you got it all, or they try painting over the letterwork that's on the wall. We can still call it a shame if it helps you and looks the same.
You keep telling me she's not the one for me, but all in all, it's not the fault of something as simple as it meant to be. But when the night gets cold and I'm out on my own, oh, the veil pulls back and the scars that she left me with start to show. Some may say that you got it all, oh, they try painting over the letterwork that's on the wall. We can still call it a shame if it helps you and looks the same, as long as it looks the same.
Tim Carnegie, sounds great, Adam.
Thanks, Tim.
Tim Carnegie is loving this. The feed is freaking on fire right now. Chad Nickel, Chad Nickel says, beautiful, absolutely beautiful, thoroughly enjoying the show.
Thank you, Chad.
What's the feeling like when strangers or people you know or family members, absolute people you've never met in your life, give you feedback like this?
You're looking at it, man. I just go into the automatic like, wow, thanks. I just have no way to confront it.
Yeah?
I'm so bashful and happy that it's happening.
Why not embrace it more?
I don't know. I think that goes into just me being lousy at everything other than the music. I'm not adept with this self-promotion, especially in the days of Instagram
social media
and social media and stuff.
Yeah.
But it just, I think it goes into that. I'm so grateful. I certainly want people. I want it to happen. That's definitely the goal, is for people to hear these songs and connect with them, like them, and want to get a CD or come to a show and feel something. I love that, and that's one of the whole reasons, outside of the personal therapeutic writing, that's the whole reason I do it. That being said, I'm lousy with compliments.
Well, there's also something to be said about to be a good musician, you have to be humble and you have to be willing to continue to improve, and you have to be somewhat self-critical to a certain extent to continue to improve your performance and your mastery of a craft, I feel like.
How about being self-aware that you're talented, and then you have a skill set, and that the folks that are watching you just absolutely love what you're doing and be willing to embrace and embody and accept that?
Yeah, I think you definitely have to accept it, especially even as a guitar player. There's almost more of a performance aspect, just like if you're an athlete or whatever. You kind of have to be feeling good about the way you're going to play.
It's the confidence piece.
Yeah, you have to have confidence.
It's the superpower.
But there's I feel like there's a line between being confident and feeling good and also having humility, and then being a total psycho rock star asshole. You know what I mean?
A narcissist.
Yeah, you got to really watch it. So
I was watching that. It reminds me of a movie that I was recently watching, which is The Dirt. It's on Netflix.
Oh, dude, I've read that book. It is back in the day. That was one of the
crazy.
craziest books I've ever read.
The Motley Crue story. There's a Netflix. It's a Netflix original.
Yeah.
And it was Nikki Sixx and.
Highly recommend that Neil Strauss book. If you've never read it, I haven't watched the movie yet, so I don't know what they could bring to life. But it was a wild book, so I can only imagine. That's great.
They showed a scene one time where they were touring with Ozzy Osbourne, and Motley Crue seemed sane next to this guy, and he literally at one time in this movie pulls out a straw and busts out a rail of red ants. Yeah. I was like, good God, dude.
I don't have that.
No, but I mean, where I was going with this is the narcissistic piece of that you saw with Motley Crue.
Well, and that's a good example of the opposite, just because they certainly became great
institution.
Yeah, an institution. But then when they started out, especially Nikki Sixx, is that dude could barely play his instrument.
Right.
It was just more about, he was I have this vision of us doing this. I have this rock band vision. He just kind of jumped into it with both feet.
He was the epicenter.
Yeah, before he was ever even really ready to do it. But there is respect to be given there for someone that has that amount of confidence.
Right.
It's I don't know how to play the bass yet, but I will.
I'll figure it out. He just believed in himself so much. Another thing that was terrifying and also incredibly engaging to watch, and Anita Byers, I see you, lady. We need you on this show, Anita Byers. I've invited you. She's fantastic.
She's a great singer.
You guys know Anita Byers?
Just back in the day, I think I used to sit in with a band at Dirty Nelly's back in my college days, and I think I've seen her do some singing there. Maybe
she's a rock star. Works at Jack Brown's.
Yeah,
she's amazing. Let me throw this to you here. Is like the one more on this is like I really found with the movie, and I'm going to read the book because you said it's a good read.
It's a great read.
Okay, the evolution and eventual destruction, and then I guess maybe the build back up of Tommy Lee. Mm-hmm. I mean, the dude came into the band like he was a teenager, playing drums in the high school band. And then he goes off the deep end. Big time. And goes bananas.
Yeah. The track from being like a high school drummer to then like dating Heather Locklear.
Right.
Being like a superstar, his trajectory was pretty insane.
And then Pam Anderson.
Yeah, it would be hard, I think, for anyone not to go off the rails a little bit when you're confronted with that at such a young age.
Right. What's the pinnacle of what you guys are trying to achieve?
You're looking at it, man. I just want to make records that I like. I'm proud of.
Do you have ambitions at all of 15,000 seat venues and selling out and lines around the door and your name on the marquee?
I'm not gonna. I mean, I certainly wouldn't turn the gig down. I would love to. I would love to do that, but I don't know. I don't. I can't even talk about this because it makes me feel like a narcissist. But I don't know.
Please do though.
I kind of kick it with the cream rises to the top. There's more media and music and great music out there than you could ever listen to in a lifetime right now, and it's still being pumped out at higher levels than ever before. And I think because of that, it's easy to just kind of get lost in the mix. But I'm taking the opposite approach and be like, if we just keep making good records, good things will happen. And whether that's playing a couple shows around Charlottesville every year for the rest of my life, I'm fine with that. But really the goal is to just keep making music with these people, keep making records.
I love that answer. I mean, it's just fire. Throw the same question to you guys. And Rosa Manzini is just like loving this right now.
Oh, awesome. Another one of my cousins.
Yeah, you got the entire Italian lineage.
Get him to just break. You want to do the rest in Italian?
We'll do Cagliari tour in Sardinia.
Yeah, that'd be great. That would be amazing.
Throw this to both you guys. Obviously we see the power of social. What's happening here?
Right.
How can good for music, bad for music? Justin Bieber. I hate to use this reference.
Sure.
Justin Bieber is discovered on YouTube because he's singing covers on YouTube. And Justin Bieber literally says, and I hate to use this reference.
Right.
Literally says if it wasn't for that, he may still be in Canada.
No, I mean, I think there's something to be said about the democratization of music, that we can make records in somebody's home studio that sound good. You can do it for very if you know how to use recording software and whatnot, you can make a record in your bedroom that sounds great. Like, I know there's something to be said about raising money on Kickstarter and having like a real album recording experience at a studio, but you don't necessarily have to do it that way. So it is cool how music has been democratized by the internet. So I wouldn't go as far as to say Prince was right to say that like the internet is like going to kill music or it's bad for society, but it doesn't make
it makes it more approachable.
It does, and more people can put music out there. So I mean, I think there's obviously less revenue in music sold these days, and that's why you pay $100 for a concert, at a stadium or whatever. But it's here to stay, and you just got to learn how to work around it and work with the resources that we currently have and in the current climate that we're working in right now. So I'm all for it.
That's a good answer. What do you think, Alex?
I feel slightly the opposite.
You're jaded about this.
A little.
I could tell.
I used to say this about Austin. In Austin when I was growing up, if you had a business and your business had a door, then you had live music in it. Sometimes you don't have to have a door. Basically, there's live music everywhere. In that situation, anyone can get a gig, anyone can play all the time, and someone will hear you. And in that situation, there's no real motivation to get better. Like, there's no, aspiration to get signed to a record label and tour for the rest of your life or whatever and just continue to get better and better and better. If anybody can make music and put it out there and someone will hear it, that might be enough for you. And there's not necessarily going to be, all of these musicians that get super, super good and make really amazing music. So for me, I kind of feel like music might be getting worse just because anyone.
Because there's more out there?
Yeah, and no one like has to really get super good and just devote their lives to it.
Playing devil's advocate with you, music getting worse is like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's up to whoever's listening.
Sure. Well, obviously, I'm the only beholder who matters.
Oh, okay.
She's the gatekeeper.
I like that answer right there. Last counter for you is this: is like, and just put it out there in general, like the labels and like the music executives not holding all the power. I would feel like is like what you said, the democratization of music. I mean, isn't that a good thing that the musician, him or herself, are empowered?
I'll push back on you just on that one point about
Please.
the labels, because they still do they get a majority of the revenue from Spotify and the streaming services. So there obviously has to be some change on that front. But I don't know if like deleting Spotify or like not putting your music out there is going to be the sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah. No, you didn't at all. I mean,
love this conversation.
I agree with you. It's just I get a little, I don't know, touchy when I hear like especially like local upcoming artists jumping in the Spotify fight. And while I agree it sucks that your song can get played 1 million times and you don't get that much money for it, that's a travesty for sure. But it's never been easier to get your music out. Exposure is, and that's the thing for me, is I'll take that trade every day.
Right, because
everyone's making it. There's a ton out there, but man, just to have the ability where I can put something out there and anyone in the country can instantly hear it, or in the world, whatever it is, can instantly get on that. And it's amazing to log into your Spotify or your streaming accounts, and there's like a world map, and you can see where your music is being played all over the world. No one would be playing my stuff in Germany if that didn't exist. No, and like, yes, it's hard to break through these days, but I don't know that it's any harder than getting a production deal or a distribution deal back in the 90s. I think it's good.
One thing that I thought was...
You guys have thought about this. I love it.
One thing I thought about this that I think really resonated with me is David Byrne wrote a book. David Byrne, the singer from the Talking Heads, wrote a book called How Music Works a few years back. And one of the things he talked about, to put things in perspective, is like how the history of recorded music, like we've only really had recorded music for the masses since like the 20s or the 30s or whatever. So all that other time in history leading up to that, recorded music was not something available. And if you wanted to hear music, you had to go hear it live or not. So he kind of talks about it, that maybe we just had a good 80-year run of recorded music being something that was sold instead of something that was just available and whatnot. So it is an interesting point to bring up from when you look at it in the big picture like that. So
anything to add? Anything to offer?
No.
Okay.
She's like, I'm not participating in these guys. These guys are wrong. I don't like them anymore. And
shut the hell up, Jerry.
No, that's not how I work. I leave space for everyone to have their own opinions.
Okay, well, I know. We're just joking.
I know.
Sorry.
Everyone's like, okay.
Unless you're really wrong, in which case we're not friends.
This is where I generally say, I'm sorry. All right, the show's yours. What are we doing next?
Do you guys want to do one more?
We can do one more, yeah.
One more?
We'll do one from, What do you want to do?
Yeah, no, whatever you want.
What do you want to do?
I didn't say anything about
The Take? Is that a good one?
Sure.
Let me do that.
How does that one go again? No, I'm
close
just
it
kidding.
out with one from the first record.
Okay. Thank you.
The morning, the sun, the waking beside the one you can't help but keep. Let her down slow, let it all go, then fall back to sleep. A promise was made in spite of some yesterdays, but worth every turn. Holding you down, breaking around your head as you learn. Oh, oh, no home in the storm, no good in the war that they're waging on us. And only your name and memories remain. When they take what God gave you, they'll break what God gave you. along with the scene you met at your 17. That one's gone for good. It may shine as bright when held to the light, but not what it could. And a chorus that's sung even from the top of your lungs, it could never repair. The ones who stood by, the ones who stood up, the ones who would care. Oh, no home in the storm, no good in the war that they're waging on us. And only your name and memories remain when they take what God gave you. They'll break what God gave you. No home in the storm, no good in the war that they're waging on us. And only your name and memories remain when they take what God gave you. They'll break what God gave you. Don't let them take what God gave you.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So good, guys. They have given us their most precious commodity, their time, for 73 minutes, and I'm truly
Thanks so
grateful.
much for having us, man. I really appreciate it.
You made us better. Our pleasure. How about the who, what, when, where, why, tomorrow's show? Any upcoming gigs? Anything at all?
So tomorrow is definitely the gig that we're pushing right now. We're doing kind of more of an acoustic thing at Porchella, which is another favorite Tom event that we
love
play.
Porchella.
I love it. So much fun. At Julian's parents' house. It's our Porchella place in Belmont, which is great. But yeah, tomorrow night, Saturday at the Southern, Adam's Plastic Pond with Villages from Richmond, killer band. We will also be getting Who's updates from the crowd because I'm a huge UVA fan.
So is your wife.
So is my wife.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna come. She might skip it and go.
Certainly, they're going to have the game.
The game will definitely be on. I will insist during sound check that the games are on out in the main room. But go Who's, go Adam's Plastic Pond.
I love it. Anything, you guys?
Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Good.
Thank
Good.
you.
Tom Casey says you guys sound absolutely awesome.
Thank you.
Guys, give their Facebook page a like. I encourage you to follow this band as they evolve. I mean, already great. I think destined for even more greatness on the short-term horizon. They made us better today. I love connecting with you guys through this format. I truly, truly do. We close the program the same way, and before we do, let's thank the people that make our jobs easy. I mean, Harris Tolber is our director. Judah Wickower is a producer, he's a photographer, he's making sure things run flawlessly. Lauren Linsky producing the program as well. I feel like I have like the really easy job, and all I have to do is talk into this damn thing and be myself. And it's like, if it wasn't for the team, we couldn't do this. I need to put that in perspective. Close the show the same way, guys. If you give more than you take, the world will be better, our community will be better, our home will be better, and you're probably going to win in the end anyway. So if you could give more than you take, that would mean the world to us. And lastly, the golden rule. I'm not going to make this about religion. I am going to make this about treating others with respect and treating others how you want to be treated yourself. And I think Charlottesville, Virginia needs that now more than ever. And that's the mission behind this program, guys. Treating others with respect and celebrating positive and heady and good vibes. My name is Jerry Miller. This is the I Love CVille Show. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and I hope you guys go check out Adam's Plastic Pond tomorrow at the Southern. Enjoy your afternoon.
Thanks so much, man.
Thank
Really
you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. I'm a little sweaty because I got nervous.
Hey, thank you. Seriously. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Can we donate this to